saying goodbye to this place. I don't want to say goodbye to you. I'd like you to come with me.
A surprise proposal.
How about it?
Tuesday on 1.
Welcome to Artsville, the place where New Zealand's best arts documentaries live. Here in Artsville this week, sculptor Dennis O'Connor gets back to his Irish roots. Is getting Kiwi boys to take up ballet too much trouble?
I found it hard growing up and bearing what was a stigma of doing ballet.
And Janet Charman's poem, The V-Dub, rolls into town.
The life of being an artist is all about evolving over a very, very long period of time and finding out things that you wanted to find out and digging away and unpeeling and making works of art along the way. But it's to do with unpeeling and shifting closer to what it is that you're wanting to recognise.
In 1969, the then 19-year-old Dennis O'Connor moved himself and his young family to a cottage on Waiheke Island in order to become a professional potter. 35 years later, Dennis is one of the most highly acclaimed artists and sculptors working in New Zealand. This film is a look at a few of the events that defined those 35 years.
This is the New Zealand ruins. I'm quite happy for it to slowly disappear into the undergrowth and to be rediscovered sometime in the future. So we were nicely concealed down here. There was a whole factory, a whole world, night shifts. Teeming with dirty people, completely blackened, covered in soot. The pots were one-offs, unrepeatable. No one in their right mind would put themselves through an ordeal like that in order to, achieve the sorts of results that we did. And as a result, they're very special, many of those works from that period. Do you want to have a look inside one of the kilns? It's like looking into the entrails of a monster. Pots would usually have to be out of here within 48 hours and sold for bills to be kind of, for the power still to remain connected, and the rest of it. So it was, you know, there was an edge to it all, and I had children to support, and it was a full-on, you know, lifestyle. You know, I grew up in a working class state house enclave, and no one did art. We did a lot of other things. And they were good. You know, they eventually fed into it, which is the irony. When I started getting curious about the art thing, I had to do that in a very kind of clandestine way, so that the kind of culture that I grew up in didn't know about this particular obsession. So I had to keep that quite concealed until it just got too much. I had to leave town. You know, the conflict between, you know, the kind of what I was drawn to and the kind of the social world in which I was expected to take part in became so conflicted that really there was only one way out, and that was to kind of like follow my true instincts and, you know, leave the culture of expectation that was around me behind. On the strength of that body of work, Songs of the Gulf, in 1984, got the Francis Hodgkins Fellowship in Dunedin, Otago University, and had a year as a paid university salary man, and had a studio, and was able to, I think, start exploring the idea of using other materials, because clay had started to become very, very, the technical limitations of what I could do with it were starting to, I think, impact on some of the broader things I wanted to do. The challenge, apart from all the conceptual ideas, was actually changing something that had been kind of abandoned by society into something that was really valued by society. There was something in me that kind of found that a really interesting process of changing the currency of something.